with the guys from Dead Alive Games. They have some awesome things for you to show out, and we'll get some B-roll and whatnot up on the screen right now. But first of all, guys, thank you so much for joining us here today to talk a little bit about your games.
Thanks for having us.
You have a few that are out right now between Lunar Rush and Omicron Protocol, and you have a new one coming out, launching in
Hopefully
Kickstarter?
in Q1, Kickstarter next year.
Awesome. So tell us about that. Cyber Pet Quest, it looks awesome. Really cute, really fun. I guess, tell us about that game.
Yeah, this is sort of our lighter take on the Omicron Protocol world. So there's sort of a crisis for humanity. People are hallucinating for the most part. They have cybernetic implants that are infected. And so what you do is you're playing as a group of pets that are concerned about Jane's owner. Jane is the cat. And so her owner, Howard, is showing symptoms and gone missing. And so it's sort of an adventure game where you play through a series of chapters with diverging paths. So many ways to get the game done, but one finale, and the goal is to find her owner, Howard.
Awesome. So it kind of sounds like one of those games where, like your choices kind of affect how the next round goes and so on, and kind of one of those games where you can play it a bunch of times and never really play the same game.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a bunch of different stuff, so there's leveling up, there's choices there too in terms of growing your pet's abilities. They're each unique, so they have like roles to play, things that they're really strong at and things that they're weak at. So it's a lot of interesting kind of problem solving and tactical maneuvering to kind of get through the scenarios. Yeah.
And when you guys are coming up with the game, so it sounds like it's in the game universe as Omicron Protocol. How did you guys kind of come up with the idea and say, okay, we're going to play this game. What if we have this game also in the same universe? Like, how did that come about?
Well, one thing that we've, even years ago, we started a dungeon crawl that was a big production, and it's something we still look forward to doing someday in that world. But this just kind of gave us an opportunity to make a small box game that's fun, it's good for a younger audience, and kind of an intro to dungeon crawl space that's more family friendly, and explore like the animals, and it's just super fun. Like the animals are really cute, and so I don't know. It's a lighthearted take. It's a way to kind of diversify our portfolio in that way too. So.
Yeah. We also have an animal faction in Omicron Protocol, so we're like. Jane is actually one of the characters in Omicron Protocol, and we're like, let's have a pet version. Kind of wow.
That's awesome. So tell us about Omicron Protocol. It sounds like, like disease, something going around, kind of affecting people, making them go crazy. Tell us about how that kind of plays in with Omicron Protocol.
So Omicron Protocol, we call it an intra-apocalyptic game because the apocalypse is happening right now.
Okay.
So it hasn't ended, the world is still going on, but you are one of the people trapped in the city that's trying to deal with it and figure out if you could get out and survive. So in that game itself, same people in Cyber Pet Quest, the humans who with cybernetics downloaded the virus that infected their cybernetics and just locked them into this hallucination virtual world. And they just gone crazy. And the government just like, well, screw this. We're leaving. Fend for yourself while we try to figure out something outside. So all these different factions form to try to survive. You have the survivalists, the peacemakers, who are people, the law enforcement people who refuse to leave and try to help. You have Lady Rose leading. Lady Rose is actually the model right there. Leading the triads that kind of pretty much gathered up all the power in the city. And then you have the animals who all became sentient and awakened for unknown reasons, and that's kind of where Cyber Pet came from. So that's kind of where the link is. It's the same world, same city. The pets are trapped just like the humans, and now we're just looking at, from their point of view, in Omicron Protocol, we look at it from the humans' point of view.
Wow, that's really cool. When it comes to creating games like that, what's that process like where you're like, okay, I have this, idea, I have this format, I think this is going to work. I guess, how do you create a game from an idea to, here it is in front of us?
Over the course of many years, apparently. When we started with Omicron Protocol, we were playing a lot of skirmish miniatures games, and then kind of had played a lot of co-op games over that summer at conventions and stuff, and for some reason the idea popped into my head of like a skirmish game with that sort of third-party enemy idea because I hadn't heard of it, and I was like, wait, that might work. That might actually work. So I called him, excited, and we decided to meet up. And I tricked him into forming our company, doing that. But it took a long time. It was a long process to actually really take that idea and make it into what it is today.
And then the crazy thing about it is, even with Cyberpunk Quest, which came from the world's established, that took over a year of just from the initial idea to what you see today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It started off as like a dice battler, like kind of like front row, back row, kind of back row lobbing ranged attacks at each other, and that's it.
Okay.
To something that was kind of like an Omicron Protocol Lite, which was like way too complicated. At one point, we even considered like 2-dimensional space instead of 1 dimension, and finally we like simpled it back down. So something as simple as this game from a world already established still took us over a year.
Yeah.
And I think it's just iterations, feedback, and playtest.
Okay. That's really cool. And I saw Tabletop Simulator there's like a pre-play kind of thing, I guess, or like a playtest version?
We're beta testing and yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. And
alpha testing.
Well, before I let you guys go, where can people find your games? Online, website, socials, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, you can pretty much find us pretty consistently at Dead Alive Games for almost all the socials. Website, www.deadalivegames.com. Find out more about the games. If you want to reach out, you could always find us there, and we're always happy to show off our games.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.